I Can't Drive, episode 55.
Hi, this is Hot.
You mean horribly off topic? I'm Steve, and you are...
Earl?
Yes,
Wait,
you are.
I'm all screwed up. Put
your keyboard over
I
there.
I can't drive 55. It's the keyboard. The keyboard was on my knee. I can't drive 55 either. I'm incapable.
All right.
I either drive too fast or too slow. Last night I was driving too slow.
I apparently, on the way here, was driving too slow.
Oh, yeah?
Because, well, I was immediately getting local for you. On Route 4 by the South Row School. Mm-hmm. And I was driving, like, before I got to the school, because when even though it's not in session, I still like to slow down at school.
Yeah.
Just in case there's a little tyke running around.
Little tyke running around.
At the playground or something like that. I don't want to run over a child.
Yeah,
so I'm going to slow down when I reach a school.
It's a good policy.
I think it's a good policy and practice. So I'm driving down, and I'm going like 45 before I get to the school. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think that area is 35. So I'm going 10 miles over.
Yeah.
This guy is in this giant truck, like literally right on
It's always a guy in a giant truck.
right on my bumper. And I'm just like, no. I'm like, no. I'm not going faster because you want to go faster. If you want to go faster, just pass me illegally. I'm not going to get out of your way, and I'm not going to inconvenience myself because you're a jerk off.
Yeah. I don't know that it was a year ago, but it was one time when I was going to your place, and I remember talking about it on the show, the big blue truck that came up behind me. There's a long part of the road leading up to your place that's kind of notoriously a speed trap. I don't know. There's cops there more often than not, and I was not going to go faster. And last night on the highway, coming back from Cambridge, I apparently was going too slow, and I think it was a dump truck or something. It was something that you don't expect.
Yeah, dump truck because you're taking a dump. Why were you in Cambridge?
I was in Cambridge because I went to see a show.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah. It was
all right, we'll talk about your show, and then that'll be a nice little lead-in to the show that I went to last Friday, right after we recorded the show last week.
Yeah, do you want to know what kind of show it was?
I imagine it was really cool because you went to it.
It was a poetry show.
Well, what? I didn't hear you, and neither did the audience.
It's a poetry show.
Was it like a slam?
It was. Well, I didn't stick around to get slammed. But,
gross.
No, so it was.
Hold on, let me just set my beer down on this dollhouse.
Don't leave it there.
I'm not going to leave it there.
I think the dolls are a little too young. I don't know. I think Barbie over there might be 20. Maybe almost 21.
Oh, don't tell me you didn't have a little bit of booze when you were 20.
When I was 20, I did not have a little bit of booze when I was 20.
You had a lot of it. Oh yeah, you don't
at
drink.
all the poetry readings I went to. No, I was drinking. No, I didn't drink coffee either. I just am incredibly lame. I don't drink coffee at the poetry readings. I don't drink beer at the shows I go to. I could have had a beer. Probably could have gotten a beer or something at the bar last night. But whereabouts in Cambridge was this? Give it a big old plug. It was the Cantab Lounge.
I think I've been to Cantab.
Yeah. So there's an upstairs and there's a downstairs. And the upstairs there was a band last night. I imagine there is most nights, and there's a bar there. And there was downstairs was a poetry reading. And I think that happens every Wednesday, organized by some Boston Poetry Association or something. And the odd thing, at least to me, was that I got there and there was a line. There was a line at the door, and I'm like, there can't be a line for a poetry reading. Well, I was like, it has to be a line for this band that by the time I was done waiting in the line, which did turn out to be for the poetry reading, this band was playing a Michael Jackson cover. And the band was doing fine, but the singer was really straining for those high notes. And yeah. And so I was convinced at first that this line would have to be for for the band, for the bar. It's like they must have reservations, like not enough tables in there or whatever. And I'm waiting around. I'm looking around.
Oh, that was lame.
It had a little bit of build up there at the beginning. I thought it had some promise, but
Well, continue.
so I'm standing there and I'm too afraid to ask any of the people around me if this is the poetry line or not. And then I start to notice that one of the people in front of me
Is this the line for the beer, or is this the line for the tickets for
this
the beer?
I
don't know, faggot.
There's a kid writing poetry in his notebook, or writing something in a notebook. A couple
like,
people
I
ahead
hate
of
this
me.
guy that's standing near me looking at me write things in my notebook.
Yes, that might have been it. I don't know. He made it in for the open mic portion of the evening. I did not. Did not.
The open mic?
Yes, the open mic. Yes, he made it in there for that. So he might have read the poem about the creepy older guy that was standing a couple people down from him.
Stop calling yourself an older guy, because you're only like a little bit older than me, and I'm about to become older.
We are older guys.
No,
Steve.
we're not.
We're.
I still can get carded. I still get carded.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean
Yes,
you're
it
not.
does.
Okay, all right. So
It means something.
When you stop getting carded,
Occasionally I don't get carded, but that's usually places I go often.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, I know you. I don't need to card you."
Wait.
Wait.
It's
That
better.
wasn't-
Didn't
that
have
was-
as much resonance.
I don't
reverb.
know.
I don't know.
The IPA. It's not doing it.
It's not doing it. It's just gotta keep working at it. The beer's not gonna help you out this time,
Oh, no,
Steve.
it's
You
all
gotta.
moist.
Oh, did you hear that, folks? It was all moist.
Wipe off the bottom of the bottle here. I don't want to ruin the dollhouse because
So
I didn't use a coaster on it.
the beer is not going to help you. You need to help the beer. That's what I'm saying. No, I didn't get carded last night. It was an 18 plus event. I don't know why it's 18 plus. Maybe in years gone by, you could smoke down there. But it's 18 plus. I did not get carded when going in there.
Well, like a lot of shows are 18 plus. Like I remember going to
Yeah.
a lot of shows, and they would give you a wristband if you were.
Well,
21.
yeah, but I mean, back in the day at a club, you could smoke, and that's why it had to be 18 plus because you could smoke. I mean, maybe the content of the band.
Yeah, I
but-
think the content of the bands, because
Yeah.
I'll get to it after you finish your story. But
Yeah.
I went to see Dean Ween
Yeah.
last Friday, and I can totally understand why that's an 18 plus show.
Yeah. I mean, I remember certain bands, especially later in life. I noticed I was following the Dresden Dolls on social media, and they would make a big thing about like trying to make it an all ages show if they could, and certainly their music has elements that maybe should be 18 plus. But anyway, it was 18 plus.
Yeah, but anybody could say that anything about anything.
Yes,
I remember I was
we're
at work.
saying things about things right now.
Yeah, see, I was at work the other day. Surprisingly,
Surprisingly,
I haven't actually missed a day of work since I went back. Actually, I never even talked about the fact that that new job that I got.
yeah.
I ended up leaving it after 2 days and going back to the one that I had before. I don't think I talked about that.
I don't think you did.
right.
I think the situation was weird. We were you were in between, and you didn't want to talk about it.
And then
we found other things to talk about.
Yeah. So yeah, but I was at work and I usually take one of those lean cuisines or the smart ones.
Yeah.
For lunch.
They're a good portion for lunch, I find.
So yeah, no, they're not. They're terrible portion for lunch. They're not enough for lunch. But I'm trying to watch my elegant figure.
Yes.
They're all bad.
IPA.
But yeah, I was taking it out of the microwave, and one of the guys I work with walks by, and he goes, "Those things will kill you." And I'm like, "So's everything in life."
Yeah, you know what else would kill you?
Yeah, the air. Yeah, breathing the air, like especially living will eventually kill you.
Living will eventually kill you.
Like even eating delicious, nutritious foods could potentially kill you.
You could gag on a Brussels sprout.
Yeah.
Just
or
saying.
I could eat a tomato that's been contaminated with E. coli.
Yes, absolutely. You could. What else? How else could you die?
Million ways to die on the podcast.
Yes, a million ways.
Eating a shitty tomato.
Eating a shitty tomato.
What the frick were we talking about?
We were
You were talking about your poetry.
I was talking about the poetry reading.
Yeah,
So,
we got a
so the line turned out to be for the poetry reading, and I was standing there. I Facebook messaged the person who was performing the feature. Was a former student of mine, and she was always a great poet, and I wanted to see.
And she knew it.
She's a poet, and she knows it.
Sorry.
So I wanted to go see how she was doing now. She's only graduated about a year ago, but she's obviously very comfortable in the room. It was a very good house.
Unlike some of the comedy rooms that I performed in.
They are a very receptive audience, especially for her poetry. I don't know what the open mic was like, and I didn't stick around for the slam portion. But
Is that like sort of poetry orgy where people just fuck each other while reading poetry?
that's what I imagine.
Oh my god! The words that I'm reading are amazing.
Words. I don't know. I don't know. I should have stuck around. My friend. So the weird part of the experience of the evening was, I don't get out much.
Really?
I don't think it's a secret. I don't get out much.
Well, don't worry. Next week we're going to Max 2's for my birthday.
All right.
And local for you.
So I get in there, and I'm already aware that some of this weirdness and clashing of worlds is going to happen. But I get in there, and the person running the event is a woman named Simone, who graduated from Chelmsford High the same year I did.
Really?
Yeah. So she's running.
Did you like give it up here?
I didn't get to talk to her at all.
Oh.
She was busy running around, and I'm not sure that she would have remembered me.
Yeah.
So she's running the thing.
You should remember me. I do an amazing podcast every week.
Yeah. But I don't think she would. I don't know. So she's running the place, and I see that she's up at the stage talking to my student. So I wasn't expecting Simone, but I should have been, because I remember even as far back as right after...
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
I wish I was taller. I wish I was a baller. No. I wish I had I'll call her.
A girl who looked good, I would call her.
Oh, okay.
I wish I had a rabbit and a hat and a bat and a sixth form parlor. I wish I was like, no. Wait.
So I wasn't expecting Simone. I saw her. I was like, whoa, this is cool. And I'm suddenly remembering that there's a lot of people that I might bump into here. And I turn, and they're with a cane, because I guess he hurt his leg. I hurt
my leg. I don't have
spring.
A fucking cane.
Well, he hurt like his quad or something, like a big muscle that it hurts to move around.
Should I get like a sword cane?
You should. I mean, you may not need a cane, but I think you could.
But I do need a sword.
You do need a sword, and I think you could rock a cane. I think
I could be like yo, and just slash people with my cane sword.
Yeah, I mean, I think you might have to give up the "you're not an older guy" thing if you start using a cane.
No, but I still don't have gray in my hair. So
I know you might not get carded if you were.
I could just say I hurt my leg when I fell down the stairs.
It's all right. We don't
and my shoes fell off. And I was very hurt by that. I was hurt by their words.
So I turn around and I see my friend Zeke from college. So I am there with somebody that I went to high school with somebody that I went to college with, seeing somebody that I taught perform. And it was. You
taught them how to perform? Wink.
No. No, that would
I see it because winking doesn't work on the radio, so I have to say that I'm winking.
That would be bad. She was a student, and I've been married the entire time.
I know, but I love bringing up that Sting song.
Young teacher.
Yeah.
I'm not young though.
You're sort of young. You're in your 30s.
I'm an old teacher with the dad bod.
That's apparently
Girls
sexy to the
can't resist.
Yep, they can't. They're like, fuck abs. Give me dad bob.
Well,
Bob.
maybe they want to fuck abs, and that's why they want the dad bod. Because if you have rock hard like 6-pack, I guess that might be okay to rub up against.
What the
like a rock hard 6-pack. But I mean, like a
to
dad bod.
rub their clit against
I guess
abs?
that would probably be better. You said fuck abs, and I was like, well, maybe
Yeah,
it would be
Mr.
better.
Literal over here.
Maybe it would be better to make love to a 6-pack than a flabby dad.
Yeah, but I think
dad pouch
having a functioning penis
that might help.
is better than I don't know
not yeah.
And then regardless of size,
penises or peni are overrated. That's what I've heard.
Really?
No,
just grinding on abs,
grinding on
scissoring,
scissoring the abs. No, so it was great. I spoke for a long time with my friend Zeke, which meant that I didn't.
Zeke!
I didn't say hello to all of my other former students.
Fuck.
It's the IPA. No, yeah, it's an IPA.
It is the IPA.
It's an IPA. What do you usually have? I
usually have the Gansett. So I didn't pick up any.
No, but like it's a different kind of beer. What kind of beer is a Gansett?
It's a lager.
Lager.
Yes. Yeah, so Gansett, thank you
Lager.
for providing us, or at least me, with excellent burps for the show. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to mention the name of the IPA that I'm drinking, but you are subpar with my burps.
Yeah. Narragansett beer, providing the best burps to horribly off topic.
And hopefully, at some point, money.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a way to wrap up the poetry story because it was a good.
Because I keep on interrupting.
No. I mean, not because you keep on interrupting, because I don't know that there's a ton more to say. I spoke with Zeke for a long time, which meant I didn't say anything to the rest of the people that I kind of knew in the room. And then Zeke was part of the slam portion, which he described as a bar game. So like I really was curious, but based on how I've been today, which is that I slept in till like 9 o'clock and then I had to take another nap in the afternoon, just from staying out till midnight.
All right, Nana.
It's probably a good thing that I did not stick around until like 2 in the morning or whenever the damn poetry slam finished up. But I was intrigued by the idea of it being kind of like a bar game. I don't know if that means that they're given specific topics. I know they compete against.
Are they allowed
to
go horribly off those topics?
I don't know. I know that I would if I were at the poetry slam.
Oh yeah.
And it made me wonder. It made me wonder, like, how do you get involved in such a thing? Obviously, I could go to one of the open mics, and I don't really write poetry, but I write prose that's close enough to poetry. I could probably get away with it, but
just go.
Yeah, I know somebody did that. Somebody did that in the middle of. I never.
I would have puked on them, regardless of whether or not I had to puke.
It was for the most part, people just applauded like a good raucous stand up or rock show. Well, not rock show, because they're usually applauding and making noise the whole time. So
the thing is, you don't want a lot of applause as a stand up. You kind of just want a steady amount of laughter, but not enough that it's going to be so loud that it's going to be. Not that I've ever experienced this.
Well, imagine substituting the laughter you get at the end of a punchline with applause. So after each of her poems, she got a lot of applause. The snapping happened in the middle of a poem, I think on a line or two of the piece that the person really liked.
I wish.
It made me wonder, is that how you're supposed to do it?
I don't know. If someone had done that, like, I wish I could like just bottle a fart and throw it at him.
Narragansett Beer, helping Steve bottle farts since 2014.
Oh yeah, that's when we started doing this. I'm like, since what? It's 2015.
2015. We started a year ago.
I know.
More than a year ago.
We're more than a year in.
We're more.
Here's the trick. Like, I mean, this is like talking shop on the show, but
yeah.
Who gives a shit? What are we gonna do? Like, because when we reach episode 100, that's like a milestone. Mm-hmm. Should we take like 4 episodes off this year? So that'll be like at about.
So that'll be at about.
The 2-year anniversary.
That's a fair point.
Or we do maybe like a half a episode where we like, like half-assed, like, maybe we do like, 63 and a half.
63.5. We did, that's why it's hard to count exactly how many episodes of the Generation Goat podcast I did with John Martin, because we did a couple. We should have had you for the sound of that.
Just for that,
just
and then be like,
sound effect.
so let me get out of here.
All right, so next time I'll be like, hey John. So by the way, I got to go back to episode 55 of Horribly Off Topic to grab Steve doing a goat sound, and that's going to be.
It sounded more like a sheep, but
that'll be our bleep on Generation Goat
or bleat.
I see what you did there.
I said the word that it is.
We did a couple of half episodes. I don't know, that is, in terms of talking shop, I would love it if episode 100 would be, right at that marker. But maybe you kind of do episode 100 when it happens.
When it comes to us.
And that would be in late June or early July of next year.
Yeah.
Maybe, something like that.
So guys, put on your laughing hats. And then immediately take them off and then listen to the show.
And stick them up your asses. No, yeah.
I don't think it's necessary to do that.
So yeah, I went to poetry. I stayed out too late. By late meaning, I was on the road back to the house by about 11:57.
That's not that bad. I mean, I was out about the same for my show.
Yeah.
But I didn't drive, so it was.
You didn't drive.
I didn't do my stereotypical, like, my favorite thing to do if I've gone out to a show and had a couple of drinks or whatever, is to fall asleep in the back seat. Like, I've done this so many times, and I think
I once fell asleep in the front seat in front of the steering wheel on the way back from a concert.
That's don't do that. Like, that is really bad.
Yeah.
But like, I think Dave Attell called it time traveling. It's just basically, or that when you black out and then you wake up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically like, it's so fun, or it's not fun, but it's just like, hey, I didn't have to sit through this entire trip back. I just kind of like was out like a light.
Yeah.
And then, like, usually I stir when like the car stops like at a steady rhythm. And so that's usually when we're pulling into where I live.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, I'm home. See you guys later.
Have you had the opposite experience where it hasn't been a pleasant wake up? Because I imagine, because you're coming from a concert, that's a pretty pleasant way to sort of like pass out and you wake up. You had the concert, you had some dreamy dreamland, and now you're home. But
just dreaming of my Dean Ween dreams.
Dean Ween dreams.
I almost said that wrong, and I stopped myself.
But I mean, I can imagine a scenario in which you passed out without meaning to, and maybe this is just me who's nervous about everything. Like, I've passed out in the passenger seat when Stephanie's driving us back from Maine or something, and I wake up and I'm freaking out, at least a little bit, because, oh shit, I was supposed to stay awake and keep her company on the long drive. But I was in the front. Well, see, I think as a person in the front seat, that is your duty to be, like, sort of part of the conversation. Yeah. Back seat, like, I wasn't in the back seat. I think that was the problem. Yeah,
like, I'm like, usually everybody's like, shotgun, I needed to be there. Yeah. But if you're the only person in the back seat, it's pretty comfy back there, and you can. I mean, John drove, and so like, I've fallen asleep in that. Like,
yeah.
My buddy Bill.
Is he a smooth operator?
No, he's not. Well, yeah, he's definitely a smooth operator. But my buddy Bill got married a couple of years ago. Shout outs to Bill. And I definitely hit on the girl that caught the
bouquet.
Yeah, and we ended up going out on a date. It did not go well.
Yeah.
But yeah. Like, this entire hitting on the girl that got the bouquet, I did blacked out.
Oh, no.
Because it was open bar for a very long time. And it was vodka tonics, and it was lots of vodka tonics.
Yeah.
And then, I don't remember, and then...
Right.
And then I remember being upset that we weren't going to the after party. And then John and your brother were like, we're leaving, and I'm like, I want to go to the after party, and they're like, but you're gonna come with us, and we're leaving, and I'm like, okay. I put up no fight. I was like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I got in the back seat, fell asleep, and I woke up, and that was actually the first kind of thing I kind of remember.
Right.
Was waking up back where I lived.
Yeah.
It was like, neat. I can Yeah, this is good.
So were you drunk and in the back seat after Dean Ween, or were you?
No, I was not drunk. I had a couple of beers, but nothing that would have constituted the amount that I had at my friend's wedding.
Yeah.
So maybe that was part of it, and
Yeah.
maybe the fact that we were having conversations and whatnot. And
Right.
I don't know.
Did you did you have to take any public transportation, or did you park right there at the?
John was good. He parked because it's like we were at Paradise.
Yeah.
Which is right near the Boston University campus.
Right.
And like by the time we had gotten there, like parking had just gone to not costing money.
Okay.
So it cost us $0.00 to park, which is great. And I mean, it was a little bit of a pain in the ass to walk up the block with my boot.
With your boot.
But whatever. Like, if we had taken the train, I would have
boot
done.
Was not made for walking.
Yeah. Well, it was actually that is exactly what it was made for. So if you hurt your foot, you can walk.
So you can walk.
But yeah, I mean, if we had taken public transport, I would have done a hell of a lot more walking. So I can't even complain for a second.
Yeah. And you would have had to try to probably try to stand up in the boot and not get jostled around and not have someone step on it. And public transport.
Well, the boot, like if someone stepped on it, like that ain't getting registered on my foot.
Right.
But then, we went there. I mean, it was like maybe about a quarter of a mile, like even less to walk to the venue from where we parked. So it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then there was a burger joint right next door, and that's where we had dinner.
U-Burger, or was it? No, U-Burger's down in Kenmore.
It was Burger Fi.
Burger Fi. There's a burger. Is it? Do you think it's a coincidence? Not to get horribly off topic, but
that's the third time. Cut the shit.
The fall of McDonald's coincided because McDonald's profits or whatever the fucking metric is are down, and stores are closing. Not a lot, but enough. The fall of McDonald's and the rise of like 10 million In-N-Out Burger clones. Especially in Boston.
Well, not really In-N-Out, but I think like Five Guys is more of like a model.
So like a Five Guys clone. And there's the Shake Shack.
I've never been, but I've heard like fantastic
things. It's pretty good. But in the Harvard Square area, there is I don't think there's a Five Guys. But in the Harvard Square area, there is a Shake Shack almost directly across from a Tasty Burger, and then around the corner from that there's
where fudge is made.
But so like you find another burger place over there. When I was working in Kenmore Square, there's a place called U-Burger. That was one of the first ones.
Is it like burgers for people that have been educated? Yeah.
Goddamn IPA. Yeah, no. So it's anyway. I think the burger thing is pretty interesting. In that we're getting burgers that are probably they are better than McDonald's burgers, but the
thing is like McDonald's tried to do like a better burger, and like it wasn't bad, but for some unknown reason like people weren't buying it.
They're third pounder burgers, and they got rid of them for a while because I think the meat.
Did you just get Jeff Goldblum like up there like talking like he's drunk like those old Apple ads? Even though those old Apple ads were where he was talking like he was drunk, where the ads slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
And, the internet. People just want to plug in and be on the internet.
They do.
All right, continue. McDonald's.
McDonald's. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. I find it interesting how many of these places are rising up and how long it'll take them to all completely fall apart. Because I went and took the girls to Quiznos for lunch the other day, and
because who doesn't like a toasted sub? They don't do that anywhere.
They don't. Quiznos exploded, and they were everywhere, especially in southern New Hampshire. There was one everywhere, and now most of the places where there were Quiznos, there's now yet another fucking Subway. And Subway's gross, and I don't like Subway.
I mean, it's not great, but like if I'm hungry and it's there, I will eat it.
I will go to Subway
because I'm like I want to be. Well, I don't want to be like Jared in the sense that I have weird, terrible pictures on my computer.
Yeah. No.
Oh wait, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Or I don't know. It may have been somebody that was working for him.
Right. I think it was. Yeah, it was.
Maybe it was Jeffrey Jones or Pee Wee Herman.
Might have been.
Art Pictures.
Art Pictures. Anyway, so burger joint next to where you parked and next to the Paradise, and you were on your way into the Paradise when I interrupted.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's funny, and I brought this up like last week, but I think the last two shows that I saw at the Paradise were the Insane Clown Posse.
ICP, baby!
Which I did bring up last week.
Yeah.
Because that was the summer of ICP. And
yeah, you know me. No, wait.
And the weird thing is earlier that summer, before
earlier that summer, it was the summer of Celine Dion.
No.
Summer
earlier that summer '69. Because that's all I was doing. That's all I was doing those days.
My first real 6-string, and I bought it at $5 a dime. Played it till my fingers bled.
You should go to the poetry reading with this. That sounds great.
Get up there, see how long it takes the youngins to realize what I'm doing.
Be like, "Bo, this guy stinks. You're just singing a song slowly." So earlier in the summer, well, actually, I think it was in the fall that I went to see ICP. It was when I was at Bentley.
At Bentley?
Yeah.
I forgot that you were at Bentley.
Yeah, I went to Bentley College in Waltham, Massachusetts. And
Waltham.
We went to the ICP show at the Paradise, and earlier that year, in the summer prior to me starting college, I was at Paul's house, and we were all going to go for a walk.
Yeah.
Down to Friendship Park or whatever, Roberts Field, whatever whatever it's called, Roberts Field. I think it was what it was called back then.
Yeah.
I think it's called Friendship Park now.
Something like that. Or Discover. No, yeah, it's Friendship. I was going to say Discovery something.
So we were going to walk over to there in the middle of the night. Because who doesn't like going on the swings?
Who doesn't like friendship at night, Steve?
I know. And then me and my friend Mikey, who was in town for the week, we were standing and waiting for everybody else to come outside. And I was like, why is everybody taking so long?
Yeah.
And I was getting angry and then, fake angry.
Yeah.
And then there's this tree next to us and I start kicking the tree with my foot.
Oh, no.
And he goes, "Steve, you're not going to beat the tree." And I go, "Fuck you, bullshit." And I line up my foot as far back as I can and I let loose on this tree. No. And then my big toe... on my right foot, which is the same foot, mind you.
The same one.
And it goes like straight up.
The tree beat you.
Yeah, it definitely beat me. And Mikey was right, and I should have listened to him.
Steve fought the tree, and the tree won.
So I broke my foot. And in fact, your brother drove my car back to my house with me in it. And then your brother, and my dad went to the hospital, and they snapped my toe back into place.
Oh, God.
And I remember when I went to the ICP show, I had I didn't have the boot that I quite have now.
Right, yeah.
Because they don't need quite that much support, but it was this weird like boot that I had to wear instead of a shoe.
Yeah.
And I had that on. Oh wait, no, I think I was already on wearing shoes again.
Yeah.
But my toe still kind of hurt, so I was kind of like standing to the back towards the bar.
Yeah.
Like so I wouldn't get stomped on, like my foot wouldn't get stomped on. And at an ICP show, what they do is they spray this Midwest terrible soda on you.
Oh no.
It's called Faygo.
Okay.
And they dump soda on the audience, and so since I was so far back, I wasn't getting any soda on me.
Yeah.
And so one of the bartenders thought it would be funny if he just sprayed soda water on me. And I'm like,
God, what a wonderful band to be a fan of. That sounds like a great experience.
Yeah. Just go and get sodas poured on you.
Yeah. And
maybe next year.
Hang around with the juggalos.
Yeah, maybe next year you and I for the show. We should go to the gathering of the juggalos.
I don't know if I could handle it.
I don't know if we'd
I
survive.
don't think that's a really good idea. No.
Have you seen that documentary?
I have not. I haven't seen anything.
It's really short. I forget what it's called. You'll apparently find it.
How do people have time to watch anything?
It's like a half an hour documentary.
I don't even have half an hour of time. I don't get it.
Make time, Chris.
Make time when? When? You know what I have to do? I'm not gonna. I'm going camping. We'll get to that. And in the next 24 hours, I need to edit the show, get it posted, finish a magazine.
You're gonna post it early. People are gonna go bonkers.
Not post it early. It'll be on the webpage, ready to post at 12:01 a.m. on Monday.
Oh, okay.
I have to pre-arrange everything because I'm going camping, and I don't know how people have time to watch it. You know, then the semester is going to start, and I'm going to have no free time again. And I blocked out my whole day. My whole day is blocked out. It's planned. It's regimented. It's ordered just the way I like it. But there's no time for TV. No time.
Are you all right?
Just have a freak out.
Yeah, you just did it a little bit.
We'll freak out.
We'll freak out live on the show. Live on tape.
I need time for some TV shows. My Netflix queue is it's so long.
So you like, just so everybody knows, Chris did not watch the Wet Hot American Summer prequel thing
and it's
yet.
not like I don't know that I'll get to it next week because when
you're
am I
going
to
to
watch it in the middle of the freaking woods?
On your iPad. Do you have Wi-Fi out there?
In Maine? I don't think Maine has Wi-Fi.
I had Wi-Fi when I was in Maine.
I don't think Maine has electricity.
All right,
so you were at the show.
I was at the Dean Ween show.
Dean Ween.
So, but I think the correlation I'm trying to draw here is that at both of these shows, both at the Paradise, I had a hurt foot.
You had a bum foot.
Yeah.
Foot in your bum.
No, I didn't have a foot in my bum.
A bum foot. Just a bum foot.
So yeah, I mean, it was a great show. I mean, he played a bunch of Ween tunes.
I think they call that a hobo foot.
Hobo, like Diary of a Hobo by the New Sweethearts, available on iTunes on the Ape's Choice.
Just like that.
Don't give me an opportunity to plug something, I will do it. So yeah, I mean, like, it was a great show. He played a lot of Ween tunes. I mean, the weird thing was, like, the rest of the band that he had with him was the rest of the touring band of Ween, except for Gene.
Except for, is that his brother?
No, well, no. They're not.
Okay,
his real name's like Mickey.
Okay.
And in the other, you know, the other Gene is his real name is Aaron.
Okay.
But, like, you know, they came up with the pseudonyms,
right.
Dean and
like
Gene
the
Ween.
Ramones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so basically the entire band was there except for Gene. But the thing is, like, Gene is the guy with a good voice.
Right. So Dean is yeah.
So, like, they were playing a lot of Diener songs. Like, they started out, the first song they played was Piss Up a Rope, which was great. Everybody was excited about it.
Yeah.
They played what is that Carpenter's tune?
The one where Karen Carpenter.
Don't you remember I told you I loved you, baby?
Oh, I don't know.
Said you were running back again this way again, baby. I don't know.
I don't think Shazam works with
no, it doesn't. Baby, baby, oh, baby. I love you.
Oh, Steve.
I really do.
I didn't know you felt that way.
What is the name of that damn song?
I don't know. All right, hold on. You tell the rest of the story. I will.
You will look up what that Carpenter song is.
Grace, I need you to look up a song from us, please.
Always be selling. Oh, always be closing. Always be selling to. Every time I mess it up. Every time. So yeah, they played a lot of good tunes. There was a part where, like, his amp broke, and so he was playing. They just they played some songs with just the keyboard, and it was just fun. It was a really good atmosphere. It was one of the first times in a long time that did you find it? Superstar. Yeah, but he didn't actually.
Is off of the singles 1969 to 1981.
He didn't sing the song. He just sort of played the guitar to the melody. And yeah, I mean, like, he's an amazing guitarist. And one of the things that he does, and it's weird because you're not supposed to smoke in clubs anymore, but that didn't stop, like, throngs of people from smoking pot near us.
Funny how that happens.
Yeah, you know, whatever. You know, it doesn't make you a bad person.
You're not supposed to smoke tobacco products.
You can't smoke. I mean, like, you get literally.
Does the law actually prohibit pot smoking?
Well, considering that it is it's not technically legal in
Right.
Massachusetts. It's been
Yeah.
decriminalized, but
It's not tobacco. Like, I wonder, is the statute about the tobacco smoke and all the byproducts that come out of that, or is it about?
But the thing is,
smoking?
marijuana smoke is just as well. I don't want to say just as harmful, but it's also harm. I mean, it's harmful to inhale smoke, regardless of what it is.
I mean, it doesn't have it. I
Just like I said,
never,
everything is going to kill you,
Yeah,
including
but
my
there
lean
aren't-
cuisine.
but there aren't like carcinogens in there in the same way that there's carcinogens in the sort of stuff that gets added to a.
That's why you got to smoke the
tobacco
American
cigarette.
spirits.
American spirit.
So, yeah, but one of the things he does is he's smoking on the stage. He's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And I guess like as the talent, it's okay.
Right. I imagine. I think they can get away with.
So he lights up a cigarette, and what he always does, and I don't know exactly what this is if you were a guitar guy, a guitar head out there, but he puts it into the neck of his guitar, and he plays the
Up near
guitar with the lit cigarette in it.
up near the tuning pegs.
Tuning pegs, is that what they're called?
I think that's what they're called. There's probably some other guitarist term for it, but they are tuning pegs.
Tuning knobs,
Tuning
nodules.
knobs, nobules. You got a nobule
I do? Where?
got
In my nose?
in your pants.
Your balls are showing.
Wait, what?
So yeah, Diener put on a good show. It was not as good. I mean, I've seen them both solo once.
Yeah.
And it was not a bad show at all. It was really fun, but it's just a bummer
Right. That it's
that
not
it
the-
wasn't just them as a band.
Yeah.
And you just because Diener belts out a good tune and
Right, yeah.
Diener rocks out a good guitar, and together, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious like Diener or Aaron, whatever he wants to be called at this point. He's gotten sober.
Yeah.
So he obviously doesn't want to. I mean, he wants to remain sober.
Yeah.
And I get that, and I understand. I just hope that there's at some point they can work something out.
Right.
Because like I don't think there's like a great deal of animosity.
Yeah, it's just a matter
I just
of,
think it's just a matter of like this isn't healthy for
it's
him.
like Charlie on Lost and his brother. I'm watching Lost at the gym as I think
Charlie, I don't want lies around my baby.
Well, I think the episode I watched the other day was The Moth, which from season 1, and that's the one where Charlie goes. Charlie is initially the choir boy, and his brother is the one that's hooked on heroin, and then it flip flops. His brother gets straight, and Charlie is trying to get the band back together for a tour, and that's why he's
Because they want to be
Australia.
like, you are everybody.
You all everybody.
That is a terrible song. Like, I don't know how that made it to be a hit in this fictional show.
Well, I mean, how did Oasis songs get to be hits in our universe?
Apparently, they were the second coming of the Beatles,
Apparently.
according to them.
You all everybody is. I mean, it might as well be an Oasis song.
Do you think it was an Oasis song?
I mean, it's like I'm trying to think of which Oasis song it's actively. It's like one of Al Yankovic's style pastiches. You know, like it is so
Like
obvious.
Dare to Be Stupid?
Dare to Be Stupid. One of my favorites is Germs, which is Al's parody, his pastiche of Nine Inch Nails, and it is so on point. I wish I could see Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails play a cover of Weird Al's Germs.
My actual
so
like
good.
my Weird Al, like one of those that you're talking about. My
Yeah.
favorite is actually off of one of his least successful albums, which I think was called Polka Party.
Yeah.
But it was called Dog Eat Dog, and it was about
I've
it was
heard
like
that
a
one.
Talking Heads sort of.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and so it was like, I'm climbing up the corporate ladder.
He does that.
Watch out! Ha! It's Dog Eat Dog.
He did the most recent record. He did one. It was actually on my summer playlist last year or the year before, whenever it came out. He did one with Amanda Palmer, and they were doing. It was like a Pixies Pixies style parody.
Oh, that's cool.
And that one was actually again really good. He's fantastic at that. Why did I start talking about Al?
I think he's touring right now, and we should go see him.
I have never seen.
We should go to a strip club and then go see him.
We should go see Al. Yeah.
That would be the weirdest combination.
be a very
Or maybe, hold on.
Hold on.
We should just talk. We can try to get backstage. Be like, Al, you got to come to this strip club and go to a strip club with
Al.
Weird Al.
With Weird Al. That would be very strange.
That would be weird.
I kind of picture Al as
the kind of person that would not
he's
really
asexual. I kind of.
Well, he does have children. He is married.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yes. But his persona comes off as that.
Yeah.
Because he tries to remain a little. I mean, he does have slight edges here and there.
But he's mostly
a family friendly act. Yeah.
Yeah. I talked about Al because of something to do with Dean Ween. I don't remember what.
I don't know. Who cares?
Anyway.
But yeah, it was a great show. I had a lot of fun. I didn't buy a shirt for one of the first times I've ever been to a concert.
I remember I had to stop buying shirts in college because
I get them for free so much.
No, I stopped buying shirts in college because I would barely have enough money for the ticket. And maybe for a drink or something at the show. And then what I had to worry about was I was often the person driving, and I would get money. I would have the money from everyone else for theoretically for gas. But one time,
but then it went right up your nose.
I think it was on the way back from an Oasis show, going back to Bradford. And maybe I've told this story on the show before, but I ran out of gas. Bradford College, where I went, is off of exit 48 in Haverhill, Massachusetts. Getting local for you. I ran out of gas right at the off ramp, and it was after there were no 7-Elevens, nothing open along the whole 2 or 3 mile path from that on ramp back to campus. So I had to leave my car there, go back, sleep in my dorm until the morning. Then find my way out to a gas station to get some fuel. And so that's I stopped buying shirts for a while, and then I got back to it.
And then I was realizing I was naked all the time.
Yeah. Well, so here's when I saw bringing it back, when I saw Zeke last night, he said to me, "You are one of the only people I know from college who's actually lost weight since college." And that was part of the problem, was all the show shirts I had were for extra large me. Mm-hmm. And then I got to the point where I lost a lot of weight. And so then I had medium size shirts, and now I've gained a little bit. And now the medium shirts don't fit. I got rid of all the extra large shirts years ago, and I have just a few large shirts that fit me while I'm trying to get back to medium
weight
shirts. Yeah, I don't know. Who would I fight?
Ronda Rousey.
Ronda.
She would fucking deck you.
She would. She wants to play. She wants to play Miss Marvel, or Captain Marvel, as she's now known, in the Marvel film universe. She wants to do that.
That'd be cool.
Whoever they cast in that role, I think it is very important, because it'll be their big female superhero. And I've always liked what's her name? If I liked her that much, I would remember her name. Right?
Yes.
The woman who played Starbuck on the Battlestar Galactica reboot.
Yeah.
But I cannot remember her name. She was fantastic.
Speaking of Ronda Rousey,
Rousey.
I didn't bring it up before the show, but I completely forgot about it. On Monday, I went to the limited release of Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F.
Oh my! Wait. That's a lot of letters.
Yeah.
And it's not a One Piece movie.
It is not One Piece. Oh, but there was a One Piece reference in the movie.
In the movie.
Yes.
I was going to say, we just got a lot of people drunk because I made the One Piece reference.
Is that...
I think that was the
rule.
You
didn't make a reference, you just said the word One Piece. Or the words One Piece. Me and a buddy of mine, we went to the Lowell Cinema, and this actually, I think I read, and the reason why I'm bringing up Ronda Rousey is she's a big Dragon Ball Z fan.
Oh, really? Okay.
And she also likes some other animes. I'm not sure exactly which one, but she likes Dragon Ball Z, and I think she got invited to the premiere of this particular movie. Mm-hmm. And they were doing like a limited release. I think it's just for a week, like they did last summer with I think it was Battle of the Gods was last summer.
Okay. Yeah.
And I mean it was really great. Like and the One Piece reference was the character Krillin in Dragon Ball is voiced by the same Japanese voice actor as the voice actor that does Luffy, the main character, One Piece. And so Krillin has become a police officer, and he's stopping some criminals. and then he gets a call on his cell phone, which the ringtone was the first theme to the One Piece show, which was "We Are." I'm being the super nerd that I am, noticed it immediately, and I'm like, that's great. I'm super nerdy.
I have fun with those when I'm out at a movie.
But yeah, I like a little something like that for the fans of One Piece that are also fans of Dragon Ball. You know.
And there's probably a substantial crossover there, I would imagine.
Yeah, especially in Japan, not so much in the States. I mean, I think the popularity of One Piece is growing here in the States.
Despite Steve's efforts, is on the rise. It's not.
I mean,
not
I listen to their podcast, the unofficial One Piece podcast. I'll give them a plug. Whatever, they do good work. And I listen to them, and they're doing a good job of promoting it. And maybe one or two of the people out there that listen that aren't already wicked into it.
Yeah,
Brian.
Maybe.
Maybe they'll start checking it out.
Maybe. Cool. A few other things on the list, but I don't know which of those we want to get to. Well, we've talked about your boot. So I think it would be interesting.
I'm bootless today. This is my first day without the boot. I'm just trying
it out.
Das Boot.
Das Boot. After the Dean Ween thing, was it the day after, or was it because
the wedding? Holy crap!
Dean Ween was Friday, right?
Yes.
And then was the wedding Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, I had to go to Connecticut the next day, which was a long drive.
Connecticut.
It was like Western Connecticut.
Oh.
It was far.
New York.
Yeah, I did. Speaking of, well, actually, I never did it, so never mind. But I did drive through the Stockbridge, Massachusetts, on the way there, which is the town that. The events some of the events of Alice's restaurant take place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute,
we never did that bit.
I never did that bit. But yeah, I mean, it was a long drive. Like, I mean, the wedding was fun. I'll keep my opinions on certain parts of the wedding to myself, because I mean, in case maybe somebody that was at the wedding listens to the show, I'm not going to. They're not going to feel immediately judged.
Right.
So everybody out there that may have been at the wedding, feel immediately self-conscious.
What did we do to offend Steve? Oh my God!
But one of the things was I had the boot on with my suit, and I was walking around, and people were like, "Oh, what happened to your foot?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I got into a bit of a scrape." These ninjas came out of a tree, and they beat me up and broke my leg apart in 17 places. So I'm on the mend now, but I have to wear this boot everywhere, and blah 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 blah. Yeah. I'm like, and then sometimes I'd actually tell the truth. I fell down the stairs and dropped my cookie.
Was it just those two, or were there other excuses?
I think there was a couple more.
Okay.
One of the ones that I wanted to use but I didn't was like, I got it stuck in some guy's ass when he asked me a stupid question.
But nobody was that annoyed. They came close, but they were.
Yeah, no. But the thing is, like, I didn't like this. These were people that I didn't know.
Right.
Or for the most part, didn't know, and I didn't want. I wanted to just be cheeky and funny.
Yeah.
Like, and not be like terribly aggressive and.
Yeah.
And whatever. So yeah, that
yeah.
I mean, it was an all fun. Like, there was a part of the. I'll just say there's a part of the ceremony that I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
But almost every wedding you've ever been to, there's been a part of the ceremony that you're like, ugh. Except for actually Mike and Sarah's, which was like, you guys. I think Mike listens to Sarah, maybe not so much, but Mike, best ceremony ever. Like, still tops for me.
They're either most of them either too long, too impersonal, or yes, they may be perfect but have one weird thing. I would agree.
It was a very long weird thing, and I was just like,
yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So it was nothing during the reception, nothing like to do with anything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It was a good time was had by all.
Yeah. So you went to a wedding, you went to a Dean Ween show, I went to poetry reading, I'm going camping.
We're going camping, go boy, oh boy. I remember watching this special, it was a Garfield special I had on VHS, and it was like John was taking them camping.
Okay, I think I vaguely remember this one.
And he had this tent that was basically big enough for him. And somehow, like, Odie and Garfield were in there too, and there was this, like, vicious mountain cat that was attacking them.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't know how the hell it ended up.
It's one of my... I don't know. I mean, I imagine they ended up alive, and Garfield ate some more lasagna when they got home.
He sat in a lasagna pan.
Because Jim Davis had one joke.
Yes.
And is he still?
Gazorpa Zorp Field.
I feel like that's why I've come to later.
Sex sells, Morty.
I came to later in life appreciate Peanuts more because Schultz, while he probably only had like 5 jokes, 5 jokes is in a cartoon is a little bit better than the one joke that Jim Davis had.
Arg! That was loud.
That's pretty loud. There's a couple other things that I wrote down here. I don't know that we need to talk about any of them. Printing photos at home was one that I wrote down on there. Don't do it.
Are we doing speed run? Just like teenage suicide, don't do it?
Printing photos at home. So my kids... Kaylee has been to Disney World twice now. She went once in 2012 with her mom on a business trip, and she went for a couple of days. And she went once with all of us, including her little sister, last year, 2014. Between the two of them, they had 3 or 4 books of autographs that they got from the various princesses and characters and whatnot. And I thought it would be a neat project because there's space in the books to put photos of the meet and greets next to the signatures. And I thought, this is gonna be homemade. This is gonna be a project, man. And I spent so much money on ink trying to print these things that it makes me wonder how the hell the computer and printer industry ever made us believe that printing photos at home was a good idea. Because I could have done the exact same thing with like a tenth of the effort, sending them to Walgreens or CVS down the street and spent maybe a tenth of the amount of money.
See?
I just, never doing it again. Never do it.
DIY isn't necessary. In fact, in most cases, do-it-yourself costs more.
Yeah, do-it-yourself does cost more.
Except for when I do it myself.
When you do it yourself, it does not. It's a little bit more elbow grease. A little bit more elbow grease.
I don't know what that was. I'm like insinuating like I get prostitutes. I do not get prostitutes.
You do not get prostitutes. The other thing that I had on the list is it was a weird Apple Music thing that I wanted to throw out there this morning. So, you use Apple Music at all?
No.
Okay. So
I get
Apple
annoyed
Music,
when I have to look for a song on my playlist.
On your playlist.
Or not necessarily a playlist, or just having it.
Yeah. So Apple Music incorporated a lot of the stuff that was in Beats Music, which Apple bought, including this section called For You, which based on your tastes tries to come up with playlists of stuff that you would like. Because when you've got like millions and millions of songs, where the hell do you begin? And so I like
at the begin.
I like this. I like this feature, but but with bands that I am already familiar with, for instance, Nine Inch Nails. People should drink when I say Nine Inch Nails. I don't know if you're familiar, but I'm a little bit of a
with Trent Reznor.
I am a Trent Reznor. Yes. And so there's a playlist called Nine Inch Nails Deep Cuts. And they have this for a lot of bands, the deep cuts being the ones that, once you get past all the popular stuff, what are the Ween deep cuts? Like you might have a Ween deep cuts somewhere.
See, the thing is, like with Ween, none of their songs were actually really hits.
Right.
So it's like
everything's
a deep cut would
be.
I mean, there were songs that got radio play, and I think one still gets radio play on the River, like that. Off of their most recent album, which I think is their most disappointing album.
Yeah.
Is a song that still gets radio play, which is called Your Party. And it's basically, we had the best time at your party. The wife and I, thank you very much. It's a cute little tune,
but not representative of the rest of their oeuvre.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Nine Inch Nails Deep Cuts, long story short, too late. I have many Nine Inch Nails bootlegs. And what Apple Music does is it, at random, picks a live version of the song from my library instead of the studio version. So the studio version is obviously what the person who curated the list wanted you to hear, and it's what I want to hear because I only listen to live albums when I want to listen to the whole album.
See, I like listening to a Ween live cut is like on its own.
On its own? Okay.
Yeah, I can do that. So,
right. Well, I'm not opposed to it, but when you have a playlist that's called Nine Inch Nails Deep Cuts, what I imagine is they're talking about album cuts, and just randomly Apple Music, if you have alternate versions that aren't named something weird, like live. Live 2001 or whatever, unless it's got that sort of parenthetical
extreme fart version.
Extreme fart version. It randomly slots them in there. And the only way that I figured out how to fix this, it's really sad. I remember the name of the list because you all get a great laugh out of the fact that this list was in my library. Come on. Playlists.
Oh, it's too late.
Strolling Through the Graveyard was a playlist that I wish I could transcribe Steve's look into audio. That is exactly why I wanted to say the name of it. So they recommended for me a playlist called Strolling Through the Graveyard, and it includes things from The Cure, from Nirvana, Elliott Smith, Everybody Hurts by R.E.M., stuff like that. I found and was disgusted to find that I also had a bunch of Cure live stuff. And so it substituted a live version of The Cure's Pictures of You, and I was like, all right, well, I don't mind getting rid of...
Is that one's like, I've got a picture of you?
No.
And it's something
no, it's
today.
Way lamer than
that. People used to do it at karaoke all the time. It was like a duet with Kid Rock and some other person.
Oh, no, that's Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock.
Yeah.
It's called Picture. I think it's just called Picture.
I got your picture in here. Let's just round off the show. Okay. We're already at an hour.
We're already at an hour. Anyway, if you encounter the same thing, you need to remove the strange live stuff from your library.
I've got a picture of your pants.
I got a picture of your pants.
What?
It's right on my phone. Right on my phone when I go into the bathroom, when I'm doing the DIY, like you said, when I'm trying to make it easier for myself.
Why do you do it in the bathroom?
When I do it in the bathroom, it's an easy place to dispose of it, right into the toilet.
What do you just like kind of stand up and
sometimes I just like straddle the toilet, face the bowl.
That is the worst thing I've ever heard.
And just
you could drop your phone in the toilet.
Well, I didn't do it so much since I've had the phone. It was when there were magazines.
No one wants pee and jizz and poop on their phone.
No. You're right into the bowl, and you got the magazine standing on the back of the
magazine.
Tank. You get them back in the day, you'd have the magazine on the back of the tank. You'd right into the bowl, and no mess, no fuss, nothing. Never did this.
Good aim.
I really
usually I would end up it would end up somewhere.
Somewhere.
Remember when it ended up on my face?
I do remember that.
What are the plugs?
Well, you can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/5555. You can email us with comments on where you have done it.
Where have you jizzed?
Where have you jizzed? Or for the ladies, where have you done it? Well, there's not a lot of mess involved for the ladies.
Well, there sometimes can be.
Sometimes there can be.
If you're a lady and you're really turned on, there's some fluid down there.
So where have you done things to reduce the mess involved? Send us an email about that or about anything else to hot@clarkwoods.com.
Yeah.
And you can reach us on the internet, on the Twitters.
Yes, that too.
I am at ECC1977.
And I am at Tuesday is loser. That's Tuesday, IS loser.
All one word.
Thank you.
And Steve already plugged it earlier, but of course you need to go out and buy your copy of The Ape's Choice. It's perfect for your drive up to Maine, like I'm going to do this weekend. You drive up to Maine. I got a 4-hour drive. I'm just going to listen to The Ape's Choice 4 times.
Really?
It's going to be great.
With the kids in the car? I don't know if that's the best choice.
You can buy The Ape's Choice on iTunes, on Google Play, and all your other fine electronic music retailers.
Amazon, they do it too.
Amazon. That's the one I was trying to think of. That's the one. That's the ticket.
Cool.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm going to go camp.
All right, let's get out of here, bucko.